Friday night is Taco Tuesday.
This week, instead of eating tacos, let's just talk. Oh.
Hey guys, so today I'm gonna talk to you about wait, this is not how I started my notes. Time out. This is it, man. I'm about to tell you who the fuck I am in 10 minutes, or at least try to do it in 10 minutes. I know what you're thinking. What the fuck are you doing with these notes, right? Well, dude, I need them. I really need them, or else I'll start drifting off into other parallel universes and I won't get to it. So I'm doing it on my comfy ass bed with these super kawaii stuffed animals. Let's get right to it because the timer is going. It's gonna help me keep track of what I'm talking about and not miss out on the things that I wanted to say. So as much as I don't want to do this, I feel like it's important. I just put dude, this is hard. My name is Odalis. I'm 24, born and raised in Houston. I lived in Spring Branch for 13 years of my life. I moved 5 different times and I went to a shit ton of different schools. I went to Spring Branch Elementary. I went to Terrace Elementary. I went to Shadow Oaks, Spring Oaks, Westchester. That's where I met Andrea, she's a homie. Then I went back to Spring Oaks, where this is when I came back, like fucking 6th grade. I was trying to be like some fucking chola chick, or I don't know, I just didn't know who I was until 7th grade. And then when I went back 8th grade to Spring Oaks, like the people that were, there was people that would kind of talk shit and stuff, so I was coming back with the comebacks, man. I was like, man, I'm about to talk some shit today. And I did, and I'm so sorry if you ever felt personally victimized by Odalis Sanchez. It wasn't like I was hurting anybody. I was just making like little tiny jokes, or the people that did fuck with me, I would fuck with them. So weird. I was trying to write down like little things I would remember that would happen around that time. Also, when I went back to Springfield, that's when I met my best friend Claudette. She accidentally added me on MySpace, thinking I was this other Odalis. When I was in Westchester, right before I went back to that school. And then I had her for gym, and I was like, and we clicked, man. We were just like besties forever. We had a lot of good ass times in Spring Branch. I would always go to her house. It was bomb. So around that time, like kind of around the ending of those 13 years, Litzy was born, and she's awesome as fuck. So we then moved to Klein Forest. Hey, what's that town that we live in? North what? Okay, so it's northwest side, to be exact. And we went to Klein Forest for 5 months. We met a whole different group of friends who Cosmic actually grew up with. They had these badass laptops that would, like, you would flip the screen and push it down, and it was like a tablet. And then I would play Plants vs. Zombies on that hoe, like, during class. Ain't no zombies eating my brains. That was whack. Cut that. It says here, I had laptops, I would play Plants vs. Zombies on them hoes. That's really how I talk, guys. Then we moved to Tomball, and that's where I spent 6 years of my life. And now, this is where I met Claudia. She is also one of my best friends, and we would dye our hair together. She's the one who even showed me how to bleach my hair in the first place, and we would like, well, I think I had gotten it done before by some lady, professionally done, before I moved to Tomball, and it was like a little purple or blonde. So whenever I saw her and I saw her pink hair, I was like, I love this woman. So like, we make friends or whatever, and then she invites me over, and we're like fucking getting high, drinking soy milk, watching Adventure Times, the good old days. And my mom would babysit these kids in Westbourne, and that's where I met Skylar and a whole nother group of friends. And while I was in Tomball, I also met Taylor, Keely, Jufro. I remember ditching class to go run in the woods with Amanda, Jufro, and Claudia. We would just, Addison, we would just hop in Amanda's car, go to these woods that were near Tomball, because Tomball's full of fucking trees. And I remember we were gonna follow the trail, and we're like, dude, fuck it, let's just run into the woods. So we just like ran, and like, it was hard. I remember we're like, oh shit, like there's fucking trees, and there's not a trail, so you're just fucking cutting through all these plants and shit. So, and it was really cold around that time. I remember, man, those are days I'm not gonna forget, because we were supposed to be in class. We're some bad kids, but man, that's cool. It's Tomball, like, God, you gotta do something for fun. So, let's see. I hate to read from the paper, but like, I really do forget shit, man. I'm like, I can't. There's so much to keep up with. Never forget dropping microdoses, camping on private properties, fucking, my friends would spin fire, campgrounds. I'm never gonna forget those times. They're such good times. Going to underground raves and shit. Like, man, good fucking days. So, Tomball, I started moving a few things. Now, that was a very crazy part of my life, because I don't know, man, I just remember, bitch, I was a fucking badass. No, I would always just crack jokes too, like in front of teachers and shit. I didn't mean to. I was just like, if we were in class and something came up, like I would just speak my mind, and like people would laugh and shit. Like, I don't know, teachers would fucking hate me. So I started moving a few things. I was good at it. Other people noticed, and they wanted me to move stuff for them. And then it got to a point where I was just like, I snapped out of it. I was like, this is not cool. So I stopped that, but I kept partying. I went to underground raves. That's where I met Hiba and Bubbles. I'll never forget that, because people used to call me and Hiba twins. Like, they were like, twins, and I'm like, who's Hiba? Like, people would tell me that I look just like Hiba, and I'm like, I don't know who Hiba is, you know? But then I met her when we went to a rave with a bunch of friends, and she was there, and I'm like, you're Hiba, hi. And that's cool, because cool peeps. My psychedelic / rave scene changed my life forever. For the best. The lights, the music, the escape. It was cool. I was a bad girl. I would sneak out. Around this time, I remember meeting Matt with one of my friends introduced me to him, and then I saw him again in school, and I seen him walking with his backpack open. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, your backpack's open. So I closed it for him, and he was like, thank you. And then we clicked. Like, I remember he had tickets to a winter rave, and he invited me to go. So we sat on these giant speakers. Like, I mean, they were giant. I remember there was like 4, like 2 on each side, and then the DJ in the middle. And we got on top, and just when I remember this memory, I don't remember sound. I just remember the feeling of the bass, like the vibration, and watching the people dance in ecstasy. He would DJ, and I never paid attention to it until one day I decided to click on his SoundCloud, and I heard this mix. I was like fucking blown away. It was hardstyle, and he's the reason why I'm into hardstyle. Like, I remember hearing this, and it wasn't American hardstyle. It was all European shit. Like, it was Quilmax. You know, it was just, I was like, holy shit, I'm in love with him. So he would ride his bike all the way from his neighborhood to my apartment complex to come visit me all the time. And the problem was, I had a boyfriend that I only would see on the weekends, because he lived in another area, and my parents would, well, my mom would give me a ride to his house only on the weekends. And anyways, he got addicted to heroin. I broke up with my boyfriend at the time and started watching Matt fall apart. He would come over. He wasn't even there, but I was happy to hold him. We did what we could, but he passed away, and it destroyed me. fucking fucked me up. I remember sitting in class, staring at nothing for hours. I remember this girl slid me a note asking me if I was okay, and tears just started flowing down my face. I remember a lot of faces looking at me. I just looked down, walking to classes, remembering all the spots we would meet up at before class. Not to mention, we also worked at Carl's Jr. together. But yeah, this was 12th grade. It was really dark. If I thought I didn't give a fuck when I first got there, I really didn't give a fuck after that shit. I was hardly at school the rest of 12th grade. I mean, just 12th grade in general. I was not at school. The only place I wanted to be when I was at school was in the yearbook in Mr. Fordyce's class. I love that guy. He taught me so much in photography, and you could tell, like, he liked what he did, and he wasn't like on the students fucking hard trying to stress them out or anything, like, unless he had to. If there was like jerks in the class and like being assholes, I would even fucking tell him like, yo, you need to chill out, because that's my boy fucking up. So I'll never forget him. And there was this one English bitch who I will never forget. She hated me because I was woke, dude. Was it English? Was it history? I don't know, but she would talk about fucking back in the day shit, and like I would bring up, anyways, I was woke. I was fucking woke, and she fucking hated it. So when finals came around, she, like, I entered the classroom and she was like, why did you even bother coming? I'm like, I'm just trying to do my shit, you know? Even though I probably wasn't gonna, I don't think I passed that class. But still, she was like, why'd you even bother coming? And then she's like, repeat after me, how may I take your order? And I'm like, how may I take your order? And she's like, yeah, you're gonna be saying that for the rest of your life. I was like, alright. Like, I remember I was standing right in front of her desk when she told me that. And I just looked at her and fucking walked out, because I was already done with my test that I probably failed anyway, so. Anyways, I got my first job at Carl's Jr., which, that was also, like, me and Matt worked there together, and man, I'll never forget the fucking phone call, like, because I had messaged him the night before, I was like, come over, and he just messaged me sad face, like, he was just like, sad face. And the next day, like, I went to work and everything, and people were messaging me, like, I was working, and people were like, hey, did you hear what happened? And everyone's like blowing up my phone, and I'm like, what? And then Latoya, like, one of the GMs, she like looks to me, and I guess she knew the whole time, because like Matt's mom called Carl's Jr. to tell him that, you know, he passed away and shit. And she's like, hey, Matt passed away. And I broke down, dude. I was like super confused, right? I was just standing there like, this has to be a joke. I was just messaging him last night. I still remember the fucking table that I sat on, and I still remember, like, I remember putting my head down on the table and just like, everything literally turned dark. Like, everything was like no color. There was no color there. I was just like in silence for I don't know how long. It traumatized me. I remember crying about it for years. Even after I thought I was over it, like there would be times where I'm just like can't breathe, fucking dying, thinking about this shit. So anyways, it's very depressing, and it took a long time for me to heal after that. So anyways, I got my first job at Carl's Jr. I was in 12th grade, fixing to graduate. My mom needed help because she left my dad for being a not so good dad plus life partner for her. So she was working 2 jobs, paying the bills so Astro and me could her body couldn't take it anymore. I remember she would get home and she's like, my leg hurts, my foot hurts, and we stepped in. You know, me and Bethel started working, and we started helping with the bills. So I hit a blunt outside the Carl's Jr. drive-through window, got fired, got hired at Alamo Draft House, and around that time my brother brought his girlfriend at the time to live with us, and then that's where I met Eric at Alamo Draft House. And he asked me out, and I said, hold up, wait. Realized I was madly in love with the guy weeks later, made him a Nutella sandwich, asked him to be my boyfriend. Nerds are cute! I got hired at Parkway Chevrolet as a photographer thanks to Hiba. And later met my homie Tara, who introduced me to street life photography. Eric got hired at a fancy pants place. I got a job as a preschool teacher at some Christian private school, which I'm very glad that I'm fucking out of there. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. So, Lakewood apartment people were trying to fuck us over. So we moved last minute to this trailer in the fucking ghetto. Fucking feels like you're in Minecraft. There's chickens running around, spawning like there's no tomorrow, as you can fucking hear. So after having an ego death, like in high school, moving to this trailer wasn't such a big deal. And I didn't mind. So I would drive this shitty Toyota. Oh my god. I would drive this shitty ass Toyota with an expired sticker. I drove it for 2 whole years, dude. And I only got pulled over twice by the same cop. And she let me go both times. Oh, I love that lady. We moved to the trailer. Me and Astro covered the bills for the family. But living here was either too cold sometimes or too hot. Like there's holes and shit. And the water the water heater would stop working. And that was really bad in the winter. Like we'd have to fucking heat up water on the stove. It was a fucking mess. So I stayed here. I stayed at the trailer. We've been here for 4 years now. First 2 years was crazy, and then an opportunity with my friend Claudette opened up in Seattle. One of her roommates left, and they had 6 months left on the lease. So she was like, "You want to come live over here?" And I was like, "Yes." So I flew my ass to Seattle. While I was living up there, my mom got to visit me, and I got to show her a side of this world she thought she was never going to get to experience. It was a beautiful time. I recorded some footage. I met a lot of new people, experienced roommates for the first time. What a trip. Got to live with my best friend for a little bit. That was cool. She had her thing going for her. So we didn't spend that much time together. I would run out to the city every chance I would get. Some people would call me crazy for going out alone like that, late at night, any time of the fucking day. When I could, I would just bounce. And I don't regret any of it. Like I ended up meeting some pretty interesting people and going on some pretty cool adventures. I got to experience snow for the first time, like for real fucking snow falling. I've never seen nature so green. Like I remember it was almost fluorescent green and yellow, and it was just beautiful. Time came around for me to move back to Houston, and so I came back to the trailer. My brother and his girl had split up. Everything seemed so dark. I almost felt guilty for leaving, even if it was for 6 months. I felt like I was having the time of my life, and I didn't even realize, like, holy shit, we're going through some shit here. So my mom couldn't have my sister staying here anymore. So she left to Dallas to find a job while I watched Litzy. Until my mom settled into her new apartment. Then I moved to Dallas to help with Litzy settle in to her new home. And I think that's awesome. Like, my mom's such a badass. She really cares so much. I love her so fucking much. So after everything looked good, I came back to Houston. Astro went through hard times alone. He wrote some of his deepest lyrics and brought back Guerrilla Brothers as Space City Lords. The guys are back, I'm back, let's fucking do this. We played our first show at Space City Lures in November 2018, and I recorded the whole thing. Someone very special to us who, crazy enough, also went through a hard life and went to the same high school as Cosmic, noticed us. Miklo worked his ass off to know the plugs he does today, and he put us on. He gave us that push. New Year's comes around, and before we know it, people start noticing us. We start playing shows with Houston Legends. We have fans from different parts of the planet. Isn't that super cool? None of this would be possible without the team we have today. Astro, CEO of Spacey Lords. I'm manager / photographer / videographer. Cosmic sound engineer. Shinobi's our producer. We got Flacco rapping in here too. And I still consider Miklo one of our managers. We have others in the Space Gang family as well. We stick together and we do what we love. We are constantly making big moves, and I'm going to document everything to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Also, I wanted to add that I have a lot of big ideas for my channel, and we're gonna make them happen. I talked to you about my whole life, and in that whole process, I would get ideas, and I wouldn't let them go. I would write them down, and I would put them in a journal. So, going through different parts of my life, I never stopped creating ideas. I was just like, man, I would have ideas for skits, or for, like, paintings, or for a book, anything, and I would write it down. So it's crazy because I went through like psychedelic parts of my life, and I had a lot of ideas and wrote them down. So I can't wait to open up that journal and see what the hell my crazy ass was thinking about or writing about. It's gonna be lit. I can't wait to make these ideas fucking happen. We're making some pretty dope things. Stay tuned because we're taking off. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Bye. Did you fucking hear that? Fuck. Fucking shit. Gotta keep it cool, man, even in the thunderstorm. God damn. Fuck.